Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Chai and JRF by Eva. So in this video today we will be covering about the topic square of opposition I and O type of relationship that is termed as your subcontrary relationships. So it is a part of square of opposition. So we covered various relationship in the previous videos as well. So we covered the contradictory, that is A and O, and also we covered contraries, that is A and E. But in today's video we will be focusing on subcontrary, that is your I and O type of proposition we are going to discuss, and we will see what type of inferences we are going to conclude from such situations. So let's get started. So in order to understand the subcontrary type of proposition, so what exactly are these? So I is a type of sum proposition and your O is a type of sum not proposition. Right. So here I have written something like they cannot be false together, but they can be true together. I know it might sound so challenging right now. You must be wondering what is the meaning of these statements, Eva. So just let us understand what's the meaning of it. You don't have to worry about much. For now, just consider these statements only, that these cannot be false together and they can be true together. In order to understand this concept in a depth and more better way, let's take an example. So let's take this example. Here we have a basket of a cute puppies, right? Here we have two golden retrievers and one pug and one poodle, right? So now what will be the premises here and what will be the statements here based on these type of categorical proposition, that is I and O. So on the basis of I we have some, we know that. So the statement will become as some puppies are golden retrievers, and on the basis of four type of categorical proposition, the statement will become some puppies are not golden retriever. So these are your premises, and we have to draw inference based on these, right? Or draw conclusion from these type of premises. So this is a type of square of opposition where we draw inferences based on immediate inferences. So it's just based on these premises. So let's see what are we going to derive from such statements. So just for now, just consider this basket that is full of two golden retrievers, and one is your poodle and one is your cute pug. So let's see what are the various situations for I and O type of proposition. So in order to understand this concept in a better way, so I will start with a very easier one, I will say. Let us focus on this situation, true and true, right? What does it mean? In the last in the last slide I told you that these can be true together. So what does it mean? Okay, so in order to understand the concept of sum and sum not better, always remember that all is different from sum. When we say all, it means that we are including every element, right? When we are saying sum, it means that we are only including few of the elements, right? So all is different from sum, right, on the basis of quantity. But these two are, all and sum are universal and particular affirmative, meaning that they represent positive quality, right? So which means that it will include something, right? When we talk about all, it will include all the elements. When we talk about some, so it will include only few of the elements. So now let us take this these type of proposition. What's happening here? So when I say these statements are true, and also one concept that I told you about, when we talk about that a certain statement is true or false, we simply means that this statement is true in real life, right? It is based on real life. The facts are true, right? In reality or in real life. So the facts are true. So now this is a situation here. So when I'm saying that I is a type of proposition and that is a type of statement. So when I'm saying that I is true, some puppies are golden retriever, right? If we look at this basket, we know that this statement is correct. How? Because we know that some puppies are golden retriever, right? We are sure about some puppies, we are not sure about the rest of the puppies. So we can say that yes, this this I type of proposition is true. On the other hand, looking at O type of proposition, we are saying at the same time that some puppies are not golden retriever, and it is also true in real life, because this basket will include two types of breeds here, 2 to 3 types of breeds, but we have some like some are the golden retrievers and we are not sure about the other breeds, right? So we can say that it is correct at the same time. Always remember that when we say some does not mean 50-50. No, it can also mean that we are including either 10% or 0.99% is also considered as some, right, out of 100. So yeah, in terms of percentage, so we can consider 0.999 as well as some. So it's not about like, yeah, so that's how it is different from all. So all will include 100% definitely, right? And on the other hand, when we talk about some, so it will include up to 1 to 0.99 of 99% of an element. So that's the concept about all. Let me write it here what we just discussed. So all will include 100%. When I say all will include 100%, so it has to be like, yeah, there are 4 puppies, right? So they all have to be golden retrievers. So that's the case for all. For some, when I say some, we can include up to 99.99%, right? So there's no such fixed certain percentage or fixed amount that can be considered as some. So that was the concept for all and some. I hope you got this very first condition when I told you that if this type of premises is true, your or type of proposition will also get true. Now let's move ahead with other type of situation here. So like what's happening here? So now we will focus on this type of situations first, and we will consider the undefined part later on. So let us see this type of situation. When are we saying this I type of proposition is true? Is false, right? Is false. Okay. Some puppies are golden retriever. Is false. You must be wondering what does it mean here, like when I'm telling you that this type of proposition is false. Okay, so I told you, like, okay, I'm telling you in real life. Okay, let's take another example. In real life, I'm telling you that I am a man, but it is false. I'm not a man, right? I'm a woman, right? So that's the case here. I'm a woman, so that's why it is getting falsified. So that statement that I said earlier that I'm man, it will get falsified itself by the virtue of reality, right? Because it is not true in real life. So that's how I want you to connect such example with this example. So when I'm saying that some puppies are golden retriever is false, right? So what is going to happen here? So some puppies are golden retriever is entirely false, right? So now what is going to happen? Some puppies are not golden retrievers will be considered as true. Now you must be getting confused what's happening here. So simple thing that I told you, like at first we said something that some or few puppies are golden retriever, it's false, right? When we say it is false, we will say that yes, some puppies are not golden retriever. So on the contrary, we can say it is true. Okay, so it is like a type of inference that we will be drawing on the basis of these. So we can say that when I is true and O can also be true all together at the same time. And on the other hand, when I talked about this concept, when your O is when your I type of proposition is false, your O type of proposition will definitely be true, right? Because it is simply stating the opposite here. When we are saying some puppies are golden retriever is entirely false, what does it mean? That some puppies are not golden retriever, then it will turn to as true. And on the other hand, talking about a different situation here, so let us take this example here. So when I say I type of proposition is true, so now what is going to happen? Okay, so when I say this I type of proposition that says that some puppies are golden retriever, it is true, right? Look at this image. So here some puppies are golden retriever, right? It is true. Okay, so now how can we say that some puppies are not golden retriever? It is already contradicting itself. So that's why it will termed as false. Why? Because we have already some puppies as golden retriever in the basket. So how can you say that some puppies are not golden retriever? right? So go through the video again if you are getting confused. So this is how this example is. Like, try to, when we talk about sum, right, when we talk about sum, we don't have enough knowledge, enough information about a fact. We only talk about only few information that we get about that fact. When we talk about all, which means that we have information available rightly, right? So we have information rightly available to us regarding all the elements in it, right? So if I say sum, so let us take one example. So what's happening here? So let's say that there's a blanket on this basket. We have covered the basket, and we pulled out one puppy out of that basket, and it turned out to be as your golden retriever, right? So yeah, one puppy out of the basket that I pulled, and it has a blanket over it. So one puppy that I pulled, it is golden retriever. So I can say that some puppies in this basket are golden retrievers, right? So when it is true in real, so it will get falsified. Why? Because it is contradicting that some puppies are not golden retriever. It is entirely false. And the same case for this as well. When I is false, like some puppies are golden retriever, which means that some puppies are not golden retriever. So that's how it will turn to be as true for this case, right? So now let us talk about the case of undefined or data inadequate. Data inadequate. Okay. So what is happening here? So now let us have a look at this I type of proposition. It states that some puppies are golden retriever. Yes, we know that in this basket some puppies are golden retriever. Okay. It is true, right? It is true. Now let us take that example again. I told you then when we talk about sum, we don't have enough information available to us. We are not sure about all of the contents, right? In order to make sure that this is a some type of proposition. So understand, like, imagine a blanket that is put over this basket again. So this is a type of basket this is a type of blanket that you will be putting on this basket in order to understand this concept. So now what is happening here? When I'm saying that some puppies are golden retriever, right? There's a blanket on this basket and you pulled out one puppy and it was golden retriever, right? So, and the blanket is covering all of the puppies, rest of the puppies. You're not sure about rest of the puppies, right? But we are definitely sure about it that some puppies are golden retriever. So when we say about this O type of proposition, we are not sure about it, right? Why we are not sure about it? Because we took the inference or conclusion just based on one puppy pulled out of that basket. Okay. So let's see what is the situation here for unidentified. When we say the data is inadequate, what does it mean? So we don't have enough data to tell us that either this O type of proposition is true or not, right? It can be true or it can be false. Let's see it. If it's true, then it will become this case, and how will it be false, right? So some puppies are golden retrievers. When it is true, we can also say that some puppies are not golden retriever. Yeah, we can also consider this situation, because when we take off this blanket, and under this blanket you will notice that there are two other breeds as well, right? That is pug and your poodle. It could be first situation, right? Or it could be situation of this type of situation where we have all types of doggies or the puppies as just golden retriever only. Okay, so like we cannot surely say about O type of proposition, right? It could be either all of the doggies or all of the puppies could be golden retriever, or they cannot be, right? We are not sure about what's under the blanket. Are they all type of golden retriever breeds or any other type of breeds? So that's why whenever we say this type of I proposition with 100% surety, we will say that we are not sure about O type of proposition. So our inference or conclusion will remain unidentified, right? And same goes for this type of situation. When we are saying that, wait a second. So when we are saying like this type of O type of proposition is true, okay, we are saying with 100% of conviction that some puppies in this basket are not golden retriever. When we are saying it is true, So we are not sure like some puppies are golden retriever or not, right? Because when we are saying not golden retriever, so it could be a case of a basket where we have zero golden retriever, right? Or we could have other type of breeds in it. So we are not sure about that kind of situation. So when we are unsure about the data, like when we don't know the entire information about that particular basket, so that's why we will say the data is inadequate. It could be either true or it could be false, right? So this is the situation for data inadequacy and undefined conclusion. So this is how it works like, and I want you to go through this I and O type of proposition once again to get that what we just did right now. If you are getting stuck somewhere, I recommend you to go through the video once again and rewatch where you feel like you are not able to understand. So this is a type of I and O type of proposition, and I want you to practice by your own, taking examples based on real life. So use your mind, use your own logical inferences, use your own certain real base examples. So that's how you will get the concept of this I and O type of relationship square of opposition subcontrary, right? That's it for today's video. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you for watching.